Welcome to today's lesson. We're going to learn how to ask about people and introduce them to others in German. We'll cover important questions like who is that, and what's their name, and share basic information like age and friendships. Plus, we'll focus on the verb sein, which is key to talking about people. Let's get started. Herzlich willkommen back, everyone. Let's quickly recap. Remember, means o'clock. We ask,
Wie spät ist es?
to ask what time is it, and reply with, it is, means half, and
Viertel.
is quarter. Great. Today we'll be building on these phrases to tell time even more precisely.
Es ist 2 Uhr. Es ist 2 Uhr.
Wie spät ist es bitte? Wie spät ist es bitte?
Wer ist das? Wer ist das?
Emily just asked,
Wer ist das?
which means who is that? Pay attention to the word order. In German, questions usually start with a verb. Also, remember that
Wer
is always capitalized no matter where it appears in the sentence. This is a common question to ask when you see someone you don't know, so let's practice saying it together.
wer ist das?
Wer bist du? Wer bist du?
James asked,
Wer bist du?
which means who are you? This phrase is informal and is best used with friends or people you're familiar with. The verb
Wer?
is the second person singular form of
Ein.
to be. It's really important to memorize these conjugations because you'll use them a lot. Notice the difference between
Wer ist das?
and.
Wer bist du? Ich bin Emily. Ich bin Emily.
Now, let's learn how to ask about someone's age. We use the phrase
Wie alt ist sie?
Y means how, alt means old, and ist is the third person singular form of sein to be. Means he, and sei means she. This allows you to ask about a male or female.
Wie alt ist er? Wie alt ist er?
When answering the question,
Wie alt ist sie?
you simply state the age. For example, if someone asks you,
Wie alt bist du?
you might respond with,
Ich bin 20 Jahre alt.
I am 20 years old. Jar means years and the entire phrase gives you a complete sentence. Remember to pronounce Swanzig carefully, it's not Zuing.
Ich bin 13 Jahre alt. Ich bin 13 Jahre alt.
Let's expand our vocabulary. Family means family. Within your family, you'll find Mutter mother, Vater father, Bruder brother, and Schwester sister. Memorizing these common family terms will allow you to describe your loved ones. Pronunciation is key. The IE in family is a long E sound.
Das ist meine Schwester. Das ist meine Schwester.
Emily used mein, a possessive pronoun meaning my. German possessive pronouns change depending on the gender of the noun they modify. Mein is used for masculine and neuter nouns like
Wir waren
the man and
das Kind,
the child, mein for feminine nouns like
die Schwester,
the sister, sein for his and I her for her.
Das ist mein Bruder. Das ist mein Bruder.
Now let's add friend to our vocabulary. Freund means friend masculine. For a female friend, you would say Freundin. Notice the addition of the suffix, which is a common way to denote the feminine form of a noun in German. When talking about friends, you will often hear,
hast du einen Freund?
which means do you have a friend?
Ich habe einen Freund. Ich habe einen Freund.
We've covered asking about age, introducing family members, and talking about friends. Now, let's combine these elements. You can ask,
Wie alt ist dein Freund?
how old is your friend? Remember to use the correct possessive pronoun, den your. Practice and repetition will solidify your understanding.
Mein Bruder ist 15 Jahre alt. Mein Bruder ist 15 Jahre alt.
Sie heißt Anna. Sie heißt Anna.
Wie alt bist du? Wie alt bist du?
Today we'll introduce the nominative case. It's the basic case in German, used for the subject of a sentence, the person or thing doing the action. Think of it as the default case. It answers the question who or what performing the action. We've already been using it without realizing it.
Ich bin eine Schülerin. Ich bin eine Schülerin.
Anna's sentence beautifully illustrates the nominative case. Is the subject because it's doing the being. Pay attention to pronunciation. The ch in is a soft, guttural sound, unlike the English ch. Remember, the verb is agrees with the subject's gender and number.
Das ist mein Hund. Das ist mein Hund.
German nouns have grammatical genders masculine, feminine, or neuter, which affect articles and other words associated with them. In Ben's example, dog is masculine. This impacts the article used. While das is used for the neuter definite article, a masculine noun would typically be preceded by der. Learning genders is absolutely key to speaking correctly.
Die Katze ist schwarz. Die Katze ist schwarz.
We've touched on the basics. In German, words change form depending on their case: nominative, accusative, dative, genitive, and their function in the sentence. This is called declension. While we're focusing on nominative now, keep this concept in mind as we progress. It's essential for crafting grammatically correct sentences.
Der Mann ist alt. Der Mann ist alt.
While German generally follows a subject-verb-object SVO structure like English, word order can become more flexible, especially in subordinate clauses. However, within a main clause, the verb typically comes second. Understanding this basic ordering structure is crucial when forming more complex sentences and impacts the nominative case.
Das Buch ist interessant. Das Buch ist interessant.
Let's recap. Nouns have gender, masculine, feminine, and neuter. This isn't always intuitive, similar to how some English words have genders, although less relevant to grammar. Memorize the articles with the nouns as you learn them. It's the most effective strategy.
Meine Eltern sind nett. Meine Eltern sind nett.
Many German nouns have irregular plural forms. It's something you'll need to learn as you encounter them.
Alter.
Parents is a good example. It doesn't follow a typical pluralization pattern. Always practice with plurals to ensure your sentences are grammatically correct.
Wir sind glücklich. Wir sind glücklich.
Pronouns, such as
Wir
we, also decline according to case. Remember that personal pronouns change form depending on their function in the sentence. While we haven't covered other cases deeply yet, this is a fundamental aspect of German grammar you'll encounter frequently.
Die Sonne scheint. Die Sonne scheint.
Today, we're introducing the accusative case. It's used for the direct object of a sentence, the thing receiving the action. Think of it this way: it's who or what receives the verb's action. We'll primarily see changes with definite articles der, die, das when they shift to den, die, das to indicate accusative. This can take some getting used to, so pay attention to the examples.
Ich sehe den Hund. Ich sehe den Hund.
Alice's example is excellent. Let's break down why der changes to den. Remember, the accusative case primarily impacts the definite articles. Pay close attention to pronunciation. The E in den is more pronounced than the E in der. A common mistake is forgetting this change when the object is a masculine noun, resulting in an incorrect sentence.
Ich habe das Buch gelesen. Ich habe das Buch gelesen.
Ben's example highlights a crucial point. Feminine and neuter nouns don't change their definite articles in the accusative. This can be confusing. Many learners incorrectly alter das to den, a common mistake. Remember, only masculine definite articles change. Let's try a few more examples next to reinforce this. Consider how action affects things. Let's quickly review what you've learned. We used where bist do to ask who are you? Why alt is to ask how old is, and learned essential family and friend vocabulary. For next steps, focus on crafting longer conversation openers and practicing pronunciation with native resources. Remember to relax and enjoy the learning process. Emily said,
Ich bin Emily.
I'm Emily. Notice that
Hä?
is the first person singular form of. In German, you always have to include the verb to be.
Ein.
Now let's practice this phrase. Okay, everyone, fantastic work today. We covered introductions, asking who someone is, and some essential capitalization rules. Let's quickly test what we've learned with a couple of questions. Ready? All right, first question. In the dialogue, what did I ask Emily to pay attention to regarding the word?
Wer?
The correct answer is that.
Wer?
Is always capitalized. Remember, all pronouns like
Wer?
and are always capitalized. Excellent. Let's move on. Here's your second quiz question. What's the primary difference between
Wer ist das?
and?
Wer bist du?
The answer is
Wer ist das?
asks about someone unknown, and
Wer bist du?
asks about someone you know. Think about the context. Are you meeting someone new or talking about a friend? Wonderful. You all clearly grasped the key distinctions. Now, for your homework, I want you to practice using what we've learned. Pair up with a classmate and introduce your partner to the rest of the class, stating their name and age.
Versuche jetzt selbst ein paar Fragen zu stellen. Übe mit einem Freund oder schreibe sie auf. Versuche jetzt selbst ein paar Fragen zu stellen. Übe mit einem Freund oder schreibe sie auf.